Class 7, Chapter 3 History, Delhi, 12th to 15th century. In chapter 2, we saw the region like the Kaveri Delta became the center of large kingdoms. Did you notice that there was no mention of a kingdom with Delhi as its capital? That was because Delhi became an important city only in the 12th century. Take a look at Table 1. Delhi first became the capital of a kingdom under the Tomara Rajputs, who were defeated in the middle of the 12th century by the Chauhanas, also referred to as Chauhamanas of Ajmer. It was under the Tomaras and Chauhans that Delhi became an important commercial center. Many rich Jaina merchants lived in the city and constructed several temples. Coins minted here called Deliwal had a wide circulation. The transformation of Delhi into a capital that controlled vast areas of the subcontinent started with the foundation of the Delhi Sultanate in the beginning of the 13th century. Take a look at Table 1 again and identify the five dynasties that together made the Delhi Sultanate. Rajput dynasties are Khalji dynasties, Tughlaq dynasties, Sayyid dynasties, Lodi dynasties. The Delhi Sultans built many cities in the area that we now know as Delhi. Look at map 1 and look at Delhi, Kuhana, Siri and Jahapana. Understanding Delhi under the Sultans. Histories are known as Tariq singular, Tawarik plural. In Persian, the language of administration under the Delhi Sultans. The authors of Tawarik were learned men, secretaries, administrators, poets, and courtiers who both recounted events and advised rulers on governance, emphasizing the importance of just rule. Do you think the circle of justice is an important term to describe the relationship between the king and his subjects? The circle of justice. Fakr-e Mudabbe wrote in the 13th century, a king cannot survive without soldiers, and soldiers cannot live without salaries. Salaries come from the revenue collected from peasants, but peasants can pay revenue only when they are prosperous and happy. This happens when the king promotes justice and honest governance. Birthright. Privilege claimed on account of birth. For example, people believe that nobles inherited their rights to govern because they were born in certain families. Gender distinction. Social and biological differences between women and men. Usually, these differences are used to argue that men are superior to women. Keep the following additional details in mind. Number 1, the authors of Tawarik lived in cities, mainly Delhi, and hardly ever in village. Number 2, they often wrote their histories for sultans in the hope of rich rewards. Number 3, these authors advised rulers on the need to preserve an ideal social order based on birthright and gender distinctions. Their ideas were not shared by everybody. In 1236, Sultan Iltutmish's daughter Razia became Sultan. The chronicler of the age, Minhaj as-Siraj, recognized that she was more able and qualified than all her brothers. But he was not comfortable at having a queen as ruler, nor were the nobles happy at her attempts to rule independently. She was removed from the throne in 1240. What Minhaj as-Siraj thought about Razia, what other important female rulers of India did. Minhaj as-Siraj thought that the queen's rule went against the ideal social order created by God, in which women were supposed to be subordinate to men. He therefore asked in the register of God's creation, since her account did not fall under the column of men, How did she gain from all of her excellent qualities? On her inscriptions and coin, Razia mentioned that she was the daughter of Sultan Iltutmish. This was in contrast to the Queen Rudrama Devi 1262 to 1289 of the Kakatiya dynasty of Warangal, part of modern Andhra Pradesh. Rudramadevi changed her name on her inscription and pretended she was a man. Another queen did the rule in Kashmir 980 to 1003. Her title is interesting. It comes from Didi or elder sister, an obviously affectionate term given to a loved ruler by her subjects. Express Minha's ideas in your own words. Do you think Razia shared these ideas? Why do you think it was so difficult for a woman to be a ruler? A closer look at administration under the Khaljis and Tughlaqs. The consolidation of a kingdom as vast as the Delhi Sultanate needed reliable governors and administrators rather than appointing aristocrats and landed chieftains as governors. The early Delhi sultans, especially Iltutmish, favored their special slaves purchased for military service called Bandangan in Persian. They were carefully trained to man some of the most important political offices in the kingdom. Since they were totally dependent upon their master, the Sultan could trust and rely upon them. Slaves rather than sons. The sultans were advised a slave when one has brought up and promoted and must be looked after, for it needs a whole lifetime and good luck. So find a worthy and experienced slave. Wise men have said that a worthy and experienced slave is better than a son. Can you think of many reasons why a slave would be better than a son? The Khaljis and Tughlaqs continued to use Bandangan and also raised people of humble birth who were often their clients to high political positions. They were appointed as generals and governors. However, this also introduced as element of political instability.